Hello everybody, my name is Garret Sherman of Dallas, and I want to show you my recently completed treehouse, slide, fireman's pole, and swing set. So first I want to show you is how to use it, like how to safely use it. This is really for adults, and but I think any kid over 5. We have some 2-year-old grandchildren that just can't handle this. So anyway, let me show you. So it's a double rung stainless steel ladder, very secure. And what you can do is you take your foot and go all the way to the first rung and the second rung. It's just common sense. And just go up a ladder. So let me show you. Yeah, I use my legs to the left side. You can go like this. Okay, so watch me how fast I get up just going like this. Okay. All right. So now I know how to get that. Now you want to go down the ladder, you've got to go down like this. You got to grab the two wheels like this and go down backwards. So if you're going around this, don't go down that way, go this way. Okay? Same thing. Go on down. There you go. Now let's go down the fireman's pole. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so you see how far down that is. I mean, you don't want to just go down and you know fall out. It's going to hurt you. So what I recommend is just fit in your hand a little bit, rub your hand together, feel it on the pole, make you get reasonable grip. What you want to do is you want to face that way, because if you don't, you're going to hit the deck. We'll face that way. Grab it with your hand. Do not cross your legs. You can hurt your ankle if you do that. Just go down with your legs straight, and you can grip the pole with the inside of your knee. So just watch me do it. Easy. Okay, that's the pole. Now we're going to show you the slide. Okay, so we're going to go down the slide now. So let me show you. Just go up the ladder. No big deal here. Watch out for this branch right here. Grab the swing rail. That's what it's for. Swing. You can put all your weight on that. That's heavy duty. Okay, get your butt on there. You want your legs out front. You don't want your legs inside. You don't want them outside. Common sense, people. You're just right in the middle. Grab the rail here and pull yourself down. You don't want to go too slow. You don't want to go too fast. This centrifugal force is going to make you stay in the middle. Trust me. Watch. Keep your hand, don't put them down here, don't try to grab anything. You're going to be going down so fast you can't do anything. Okay, so the swing, you want to swing on the inside with your feet to the inside, so it's just really good. Just watch. Any of you people not know how to swing, see, you don't want to go the other way because you'll hit your head. Anyway, that's the swing. Oh boy. Okay, so now we've covered what it looks like, the architectural beauty, and we've covered how to use it, to be safe. So we got that. It's real simple, easy. You saw that. So now I'm going to spend the most of this production is going to show you how I built this and the details of building it. So first of all, we rented an auger, and we dug 4 holes, okay, got concrete. We put 3 2x4s in here, treated of course, and we put them up, level and everything. These were 10-footers, got them in the ground, in the concrete, and I used a solar tube. I made a perfectly round concrete here. And it just so happens, this right here is PVC pipe, otherwise known as sewer pipe. And it fit just perfectly on there. I was able to brace it on the inside. This right here is a little bit of flexible molding that I bought from Wilson Supply. So anyway, so that's what you do there. You've got your foundation in, you've got your post up, and then what I did is I hired a carpenter at $50 an hour. His name is Michael Greer. He's in Plano. Excellent carpenter. He knows everything. Look at the detail of what we did with the trim. If you notice, this is a 2x6. If you notice, I have a nice corner up here, and the trim up here. See how it's all looks really finished out, right? And so what we did, we decked the top and the bottom, and it looks fantastic this way. So Michael used a scribe to go around the tree, and it's just very solid. And the key feature of this, if you notice how slim this profile is, it's only a 2x6, and then a 3/4, about 7.5 inches is all this is. And the way we're able to do that is we used joist hangers. So this is all joist hangered in here. And I've got joists in here very close together, probably every 6 inches. So it's super strong, super solid. And so basically that's what completes that structure. Then what I did is I bought all this stainless steel tubing from Action Stainless and Alloys in Carrollton. And I used Chris and Melinda. They're great, and their prices are really cheap. So got the stainless steel from them, that 304 18/8 2-inch tube. And so I bought it from them, I polished it, and then I sent it off to Benchmark Tubular Manufacturing. Benchmark Tubular Manufacturing charges $90 a bend. So I had all that bent. That's 9-inch radius right there, okay? They can go down to 5 inches, or they can go down to whatever radius you want. The smallest they can do is 5 inches. So anyway, Benchmark Tubular Manufacturing in Fort Worth, outstanding. Very reasonable on their prices, very precise bending. If you didn't use them, a mandrel bender like they use, you would have crinks and all that tubing. It looked terrible. So this is super strong stainless steel. And the reason I did all this in stainless steel is because you can see it, as you notice from all the pictures. You can see it from everywhere. In your house, you can see it everywhere. So I wanted it to look as sharp as possible. So, anyway, that's what we did there. We also, I sent this off to Western Sheet Metal, and they TIG welded all of this. If you notice, each one of these is a TIG weld, and that was $50 an hour, very reasonable. Gary at Western Sheet Metal in Irving can take care of you if you need any this kind of stuff done. They can do TIG welding, sheet metal, and so anyway, they did that, and so we got the tube bent, and these end caps right here, I bought these on the internet on eBay, and those are, believe it or not, $10 a piece. So that's $200 worth of end caps. So let me just kind of go over to build the structure. Like these sewer pipes were 100 each. Okay, you have to just cut them with a skill saw, no problem. And the wood was about $700, $800 because I decked it. That's just regular. And this I got at Lowe's. It's just treated 2x4, 2x6, and then you have deck boards here. So anyway, that all talked about. To do just the decking and the legs, that was about $3,000, $3,500. Then to do up there, that steel, to have it bent, I had to weld flanges on, and I'll show you when we get up there. I'll show you the flanges. That was about $3,500. So this structure right here alone was about $6,800, and it's just what it is. If you want the best, stainless steel, bent, that's just what it's going to cost. This right here, $1,400. It's a custom ladder, and again, I had this done at $50 an hour. So anyway, it's very stable. It's excellent. So that covers the construction of the structure itself in this, right at about $9,500 total, whatever, $8,800. I can't remember the numbers now. Anyway, that's about all that. So now I want to show you what I did next. I built a fireman pole. Fireman pole, to come over here, basically I went and rented another auger from Home Depot. And I had to, a 2-man auger. It was rough. So this pole is situated 5 feet down. And it goes up 15 feet. These posts come in 20-foot length. So this right here, because it's 2.5 inch, Everything else is 2-inch. You want to do 2.5-inch. This is about $325 just for this one. So what we did is, where am I going? Oh, here we go. Okay. So what we did here is that was the bitch, just digging a hole 5 feet, okay? 2 men, we were exhausted after we did it. And we got it, we couldn't go 6, we were trying to go 6. Anyway, got it all in there. And then we just basically leveled it, concreted it in. Here you go. You got a fireman's pole. This total cost of this was $700. You can buy fireman's poles online for $8,000 that came out of fire station. That's crazy. Not doing that. This is outstanding. So you saw me going up and down it. I'll demonstrate it again in a minute. But anyway, so that's basically it. It's a blast. So when was the last time you went down a fireman's pole? Not probably a long time. So anyway, that's that. But let's go over here now. We'll do the slide. This is the masterpiece. So if you look at this, I'm gonna go over step by step on how to build this thing. But I want you to take a look at the detail here. This is all stainless steel. This is 16 gauge right here. And Gary at Western Sheet Metal insisted I do 16 gauge. This was cut in a quarter circle. I drew it on a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to scale, and then the Western Sheet Metal loaded it into their computer, and they used a computerized CDC machine with a plasma laser computerized cutter, and they cut it perfectly. I mean, perfect. So if this is under pressure right now, it would normally be sitting way out here, okay? What I did is I forced it in. So we built a scaffolding, big wood scaffolding. So I started off, I did 3 scaffolding. The first scaffolding was a medium scaffolding, and basically it was to get it to where we could connect it to the deck. That's the cool part how I did that. You see this right here? This is it's steel plate. It's stainless steel. This right here, this plate right here, it's about 30 inches by 30 inches. It weighs about 80 pounds. It's only 5/8. 3/4 is going to be well over 120 pounds, and I didn't want to put that kind of weight on this deck. Anyway, if you can see how I screwed it into the deck, it's all into joist. It's super strong. It distributes the load of this entire slide onto this big plate. I was going to have a plate here anyway, because you want to have something to put your butt on, to put, to go around the slide. So what I did, you see this tube right here? I had Western Sheet Metal weld this plate to that tube at their shop, okay? Then I welded on the ends down here. I sockets. I bought sockets on Amazon, and I needed a socket. Western Sheet Metal had already finished the fabrication of this sheet metal slide part, and if you notice, it's got a seam in the middle because I had to use 2 pieces of sheet metal. It's so big, and so they used a sheet metal brake to join it. Because if you weld on 16 gauge, you're going to burn a hole in it. So you can't do that. You have to fold it under, fold it under like you're sewing. You fold it under, then you weld it underneath. So we did that. So I had this piece up here. I had a big old scaffolding. I lined it up. We welded on these sockets. And I've got, if you see these pins on the edges here, trust me, there's pins. So this thing, I could go up and down with it. Okay, so I had this on here, and I had the slide on there, and it's rotating freely. That's when I had to spend time to determine how far in to bring this, because originally I was going to bring it in much more, but I noticed the stunt pilots, myself, were constantly falling off on the inside. I didn't really have any problem, shooting off the outside edge. So anyway, this is what it looked like. For me and the carpenter and the maintenance guy, we got together, and this is what looked the best. Now if you look here, my feet when we get on the slide, it's comfortable sitting here. One leg is not lower than the other. It's just comfortable. It's just, you just sit here just like this, and then you can pull forward a little bit, and then it just looks right, it feels right, and you land right. I'll show you why. Here we go. If you look here, I had a scaffolding. I had to raise it up real high in the scaffolding. I got the shape right. And then what I did is I removed it all and I rebuilt a brand new scaffolding with 2x4s and locked this position in. So I had it all locked in. And I had it to where I could actually, the welder could actually get under there and weld. I had to do a real nice, what do you call it, structure, wood structure out of 2x4s. And so what I was able to do is get the welder. Let me tell you the first step we did. The first thing we did is I locked it in with this. I dug the hole here with an auger, concreted this in, and tack welded this in right here on this, and locked that in. So now it's locked in there. Then I welded these little 3/8 bars on the side. I welded 3/8 bar on each side. Little 3/8 bar. So all it is just the end and the 3/8 bars in, okay? Then what I did is I took these tubes and we welded the tubes in like railroad ties onto this 3/8 bar. This was not here, okay? This is not in yet. The rails weren't in. So I got that done. If you notice, if you take a look over here, you'll see that these tubes are bent. This is bent on a 9.5 foot radius, and this one is bent at a 12 foot radius. The slide is 30 inches wide, so it's plenty wide for adults. That's the whole idea. Kids' slides are too skinny for us, so this is plenty wide for us. And if you get in here, you can clearly see it's bent there, and it's bent. So that's another what's it called, benchmark tubular manufacturing. And then under here, come on around here, you can see how these tubes are bent. And that's what gives it, that's the secret. So this is not only, this is a compound convex curve. That's a very, very difficult engineering. It took me a long time to design this. So anyway, then I got that done, got these in. Then what I did is I had these tubes bent, and guess what? I need a spiral shape. And so what I had to do, I hated to do it, but I had to cut these into pieces. So anyway, you can see there, you can even see seams. And what we did is I had 13 pieces of this sheet metal, about every 2 feet. And we put them in place, we welded them together, we grinded them down, and we polished them. So it looked like it's one continuous tube, but it's not. I had to cut it. But there's no other way to do it. No way to do that. You cannot do a spiral. Forget it. And I was told that at the beginning, and I kept fighting, but I cannot do it. So anyway, this looked great. I did not believe it that I could do get these TIG welds to look this nice and pretty. If you notice, it's the same color. You don't see any cracks, and you see a little imperfection due to the fact of grinding. And so anyway, it looked fantastic. Continuous tube. So what we did, we welded all these tubes on, then we welded them together, seamed them, then we ground it all out, and then polished this up. So now we've got the tubes on each side, we've got the sheet metal in, we've got the railroad ties in. And if you look, come over here, and you can see what we did here is I wanted additional support, so we went ahead and put these trusses in here and welded them to the ties. Okay, nothing is welded to this sheet metal. If you weld anything on that sheet metal, you're going to get a hole, I'm telling you. And the last thing you want is a hole in the middle of it. So anyway, that's pretty much the slide design. Let me show you the swing design. The swing design, I got these at, what's it called? Swingsets.com. Just look at show the brackets up here at the top. So you just get these long bolts, roll drive them in, sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. All right, now, the bonus, I want to show you my my pyramid. This, pyramids, these are called cosmic energy pyramids. It's a Russian design. I could not find any information anywhere about these things. Very little on the internet, anywhere. But there's no metal in this. This is 100% PVC pipe, sprinkler pipe, basically inside. This panel right here is polycarbonate, UV protected. I got this from Regal Plastics. And so basically I got a sheet 4x8, cut the 8 feet tall there, 4 feet wide, cut that. The remainder went into the small pyramid, okay? So I made I had extra material. This is so expensive. This right here was $100 a sheet. So to build all this, it was $2,000. You basically what you do here on these, you can get in it. You notice, come on over here and look. I have a stool right there, and I got a light in there now. But I can sit in there, say a prayer, whatever I want to do. You know, whisper, you know, $1 million, whatever. And then I can also put water in there. And so if you put water in there, supposedly it has all kinds of benefits. And they say if you put a razor blade in there, it'll sharpen it. These are pointed to the North Pole, South Pole. It creates electromagnetic vortex. So I could spend a lot of time talking about this thing. But you want to go in here with no metal on you. So I got a phone on me. I couldn't go in there with no metal. And it's supposed to give you a lot of benefit and really cool. So let me go back over here. Can you come over here for a second? I want to talk about all the cost. So we already know that the pyramids cost $2,000. That's about $1,000 in material and $1,000 in labor. That was an extremely difficult engineering deal. I had to build a mold on the ground, and I did one side with PVC pipe, and then I did the other three, and then I joined them together. And you think, oh, that sounds great and easy. If you look in there, the way that's put together, if you can see that PVC in there, it was a jigsaw puzzle. But it's very sturdy, very strong. Now, so anyway, so we have the slide. The slide ended up being $6,700, and that's just the way it is. It's a very sophisticated slide. You can't get that anywhere on the market. You're talking the welding alone on this slide was $3,000. I had an on-site welder. He was $100 an hour, TIG welder. Got his name. Call me if you want his number. Excellent young guy. But he's expensive, but he's fast. And you got to do TIG on stainless steel. So anyway, so we got $3,000 welding cost, and then the rest of it's material, and then also labor building the scaffolding. And don't forget, I'm shipping this stuff all over the place. Like I'm sending some stuff to Benchmark Tubular. I'm getting stuff from Action Stainless. I'm getting stuff all over. So I'm using Ponto delivery service. I was going to make a point about them. Got to use Ponto. They had 14-wheel trucks, flatbed, trailers. This stuff was going all different directions. I was shipping one thing from one vendor to another guy. Anyway, got all that done. So this was like I said, $6,700. This thing took me almost 2 years overall. A lot of engineering, hundreds of hours. I had to polish this. When I bought all this stainless steel, it was in a mill finish. It was a 180 grit. This, what you're looking at, is 3,000 grit. It's super polished. So it really turned out really nice, real pretty. This will last for years. Just wax it. Now don't forget all the little things you have to do. I have lighting in here. I've got lighting up above. I've got double-sided deck. This is all stained. 2 coats of paint. Got some flagstone around the legs over there. So if you look at this, you can see how you can get to 17,000. 17,000. Any questions, anybody? I'll tell you what, anybody has any questions on how to do this, if you want to make something like this, give me a call at 972-991-2120. You got that? 972-991-2120. I'm Garret Sherman, and don't call me to sell me something. But if you're seriously you want to make one, or have a question about this, call me. If you're going to have a contractor, I've done a lot of projects. I wouldn't touch this under $35,000. If you said you wanted to 45,000, 35 or 40, it's so engineering intensive, but it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun building this. I'd lay awake at night thinking about pi times figuring out angles and curves and ratios. For example, it's very scientific. This has to be at 30 degrees. Okay, the ladder is 30-degree angle. So this slide, you cannot have, the overall angle cannot exceed 30 degrees also. So it can't be too steep because you'll go airborne. So once you get around over here, you can see this, how steep this is right here. See how this drops off? So I got a level up there, it drops real steep on the inside to create this bank. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. So this is probably 60 degrees. And then if you look here, this right here is not as steep as this. So this overall average is about 27 degrees slope. So you have 25 on that side, 30 on this side, and 20 right down the middle. So it's just right. So I'm gonna go down it one more time, just so y'all can get a kick out of this. And thank you for watching this video. Okay. Now, let's go down. Ooh. You see how I went airborne right there just a little bit? That's where you really pick up speed. And you don't want to make this thing any longer. You don't want to take the fun out of it. This is, now you get a little 3-year-old, they come down this thing, they're going to be scared. But you land, you look, this is about 18 inches high right here. Perfect. You land standing up. You do not want to land on your ass. You want to keep lean forward, and you do not want to crash on the inside. I was just going to make a point. Getting information on the internet to build a slide like this doesn't exist. If you want information about how to do a convex curve, a compound curve like that, you better be a good engineer, because you're going to have to do it yourself, because that took a lot of mathematics to make that happen. And so I was just going to tell you all, there's some things that happen, like we hit a sprinkler pipe, had to stop, get a landscape guy over here, do a repair, and continued on. Other than that, really, there's no real mishaps. If I were going to do this again, would I do it again just like this? Absolutely. I designed it exactly right. If you notice, it has an incredible load-bearing capacity. You could be, I'm 230 on a good day. And so anyway, you can put people up here. It doesn't shake. If you get up there, it doesn't make any noise. Like if I'm getting up this ladder, you can't hear anything. This is just as good as it gets. And I was going to tell you, the Dallas Parks Department has the most amazing parks with the kids' playground equipment. And so I was inspired by their playground equipment, and it's heavy duty. You ought to see this new stuff. Dallas Park just redid all their playgrounds, and it's for little kids. So I tried getting on it. It took my weight, but it's just too little. So I was very inspired by the quality of their stuff. And I go, wow. And so I called one of them up, and to get a slide thing, $23,000. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you think you're going to go to Home Depot and you're going to buy anything like this for $3,000, you're crazy. It's not going to happen. You're going to get a piece of junk. It's going to last 2 or 3 years. That's just the way it is. But that might work. Your kids grow up, you don't care. But anyway, this is a lifelong deal. Again, my name is Garret Sherman. My phone number is 972-991-2120 in Dallas. And I told you basically where to go to get the stuff. You get it from Action Stainless, Benchmark Tubular Manufacturing, Western Sheet Metal, Pronto, Home Depot, Lowe's, eBay, and Amazon. Costco. And so anyway, you get all these parts and go after it. You need the welder. I got the welder's name in Louisville. Then I've got my carpenter, Michael Grunt. And I want to offer special thanks to James Engelman. Jay was with me from the start, and so it was a very physical job getting these holes in and doing all this. You just imagine. And Michael did a great job. The carpenter is very physical doing this. You would not believe how much skill and craftsmanship is in this. You can see it. So anyway, I want to thank everybody, and I also want to thank my wife for putting up with this. She threatened to go shopping for clothes because this was costing so much money, but she never did. So I still have some money. So anyway, thank you all, and don't forget what this is. Treehouse, recreation slide, fireman pole, swing set, cosmic energy pyramids. Thank you all.